So you probably have business cards, but do you have a business card strategy? Hello Splash Universe, I'm Derek Haney and thanks for joining me for another episode of SplashU Small Business Tips, where I give you advice for small business owners, entrepreneurs, and marketers every single day. Today what I want to talk about is how to use business cards to your maximum advantage, when to respond to business cards, and how to put them into your system and stuff like that. So the first thing is that you're probably going to collect business cards out at a networking event, some sort of party, referral event where you're hanging out with other like-minded people and you're trying to get to know other people that are either in your industry, in your target market industry, or competitors or potential partners or something like that. So you'll be walking around with a pile of business cards in your pocket, talking to people, and eventually there'll come a time where you're going to want to hand out those cards. So the first rule that I like to create for you is not to offer business cards to people as too often, almost never. What you really want to do is only hand out your business cards when either somebody has asked you for a business card or they're giving you their business card and then you can give yours in return. This helps create a relationship in which you know that they have an actual interest in reaching out to you. Otherwise, you're just throwing paper essentially in the trash because that's where they're probably going to put it. It's also really important to wait a few minutes before going through for a business card exchange. You shouldn't just meet someone and say, "Oh, you're in this industry? Here's a card. Reach out to me, or I can help you." You actually need to sit and talk to somebody. Business card and networking in general is about actually knowing who you are with, a little bit more about them and their personality and their business. So you really want to dive in and genuinely understand the person themselves before just trying to exchange cards and move on to the next person. It's really important you make that connection. Otherwise, the whole relationship is going to spawn from that. And the better you can make the first connection and the longer you can talk to someone at the beginning, the stronger it will be throughout the entire relationship. And I see this all the time. It's where you think, you've reached out to someone that could have been a really, really great contact, but you were only able to spend a couple minutes with them, and the relationship tends to foster away relatively quick. Whereas if you spend half an hour with someone that is, let's say, your exact target market or a really great potential lead, and you guys just talk and about yourselves and your day and what's going on and the problems in your business, that's when you can make that connection, remember that person by name, not even have to look at their business card for it, and then you can build that trust off the get-go so that when you email them the next day or a few days later, they are willing to respond, even if it's just to say hello and how are things, which is totally fine. And that's the genuine marketing aspect of it. You're not trying to be fake. You want to make sure that they are a good fit for you as well, and you need to make sure that they understand you personally, everything about you and your business. It's really important that when you get a business card, you follow up on it within 3 days or never. So, and it's really good to, if you are going to never follow up with someone, throw the card out because you don't want to accidentally stumble upon it later. So you should respond with every business card that ends up in your pocket or on your desk the next day, unless that person falls under two possible criteria points. The first one is if you actually can't remember who they are, and you don't know what they do without looking at their card, and you can't put a face to the name. This could be somebody that just passed the card in passing, or really if the connection wasn't there in the first place, if you didn't really remember who they were, then don't bother contacting them the next day because there's really not going to be a spark of relationship. If they remember you, they might contact you, and that's fine. Then you think that they might have a purpose for understanding your business or working with you, which is great, and now you can move forward with the relationship. But if you don't remember who they are, don't bother reaching out to them and fake fostering a relationship that isn't really there. The other reason you should not contact someone that's made it into your business card pile is if they have offered to give you a card and you didn't really see a fit between you and their business, and hopefully in the moment you should definitely politely kindly kind of turn down the card. Oh, no thanks, I don't need a lawyer right now. I don't need an accountant right now. I have one. Thank you very much, though. I don't need a banker right now. I don't really need a banker in my business. Thank you, though. And then a lot of times when you do that, people still give you the card. That is a card that will end up in the trash. And it's on them to understand that, not everybody's going to be the right fit, and they did not need to hand that card out. But you certainly do not need to spend your time following up with that person because they don't fit your business right now. And maybe it's a little bit cutthroat, but it's really like you've only got so much time. And if you're stuck emailing people that really can't do anything for you at this time, then you're going to be wasting your day away and not getting to the real important business stuff. So that's a good opportunity to pass on and save that time and focus your energy on something else. While you're talking to people and getting a business card from someone else, you can ask them if they'd like to join your blog or newsletter or email list or whatever the case is. And if you've hopefully been talking and explained a lot about what you do, so they have a general understanding of it, if they're hesitant or they don't understand what it is, explain what they get with that in a little bit more detail. Our blog is for small business owners who need help understanding the scope of the internet. Oh, okay, I definitely want to learn about that. Or the other person might say, and just like that, I was interrupted by a spam phone call that I had to turn down. So I think I was talking about the blog newsletter, telling them more about it, and a small business owner, somebody that fits your target demographic, might still not want to be on that blog or newsletter because they have no interest in actually learning or hearing more about the thing that you're providing on that front. And that's completely okay. So I've met with small business owners. Some of them are not interested in learning about, the internet. They just want to hire someone to do that, or, that's not their thing. They're not the tech savvy person that's really trying to solve that problem. So they've already decided to keep that off their plate. Don't bother signing them up for a blog or newsletter they're not going to appreciate and use. So it's important to understand that when you're talking with the person, and you don't even need to suggest it if you can tell that they don't fit the market for the blog, but you can still do the card exchange because you can do business with them in other ways. And so understanding when to kind of ask that question is very important. If someone says, yes, sure, sign me up for your blog or newsletter, bend the card in half or bend a corner of the card or something, usually not in front of the person. It can be a little bit rude. They'll be like, what are you're ripping my card, But make a mark on the card in some sort of way so okay, I did talk to this person and they have agreed to join the blog, so when I input their information tomorrow, I'll make sure and add them to the newsletter and let them know in my follow-up email that I have added them to the newsletter, and they can expect to see that when it comes out. When you are following up with people that you met through the business card routine, the first thing you want to do is import all of their contact information they've given you. You're not going to really use this card after you've imported all the information. It goes into a drawer, or what we're going to do with all of the business cards we receive for our business, so we're going to create a wall of all of the information and kind of frame it up to show kind of the list of contacts that we've made over a long period of time. So what you're going to do to import the contacts, there's a couple of really cool apps that can do that. We use Snap, but that is with Infusionsoft. It works well with our Infusionsoft software, so I think you have to have Infusionsoft to use it. It's a really great app, but you have to have Infusionsoft. Other great ones are Camcard or Business Card Reader, very original name, it does exactly what it says, or ABBYY. Those are some of the top 3 business card readers that you can just take a picture with your cell phone. It'll try and read the data and import it into your contact list. Now, most of those things, it's going to be your personal contact list on your phone, so transferring that over to Gmail, MailChimp, or some other thing, it could be a little bit tricky. Sometimes you might just have to input that stuff by hand. Maybe you can send it off or forward it as an email or email attachment. And then copy and paste it in. So it's not necessarily the most ideal solution, and truthfully a lot of those app reader things don't pick up the information very well, so they make a lot of errors, which is really unfortunate. So you have to figure out which one works for you, or copy it by hand and get all of the information. Don't miss anything. Explain the business, the details, how you met the person is a great thing to put as you're recording this record, and from there the card can go in the drawer. You don't need to use it anymore. Send out the follow-up email, and when you send out that follow-up email, make sure you have a personalized template where you can just copy and paste in the generic hello, nice to meet you information, add where you met them from, what you guys talked about and how great it was. Start by saying hello, your name, hello to the person directly. It's really great to address people that you know by name with their first name. And then the best regards at the end. All that stuff can just be copy pasted in, but you need to personalize every follow-up email because it is a personal connection. This is not an automated 100% automated process, because you really did meet this person and you really genuinely want to build a real relationship with them, not a fake, or not that automation is fake, but it's a little too generic for the really what you can do. You'll get a lot more power off of personalizing the email. If they did subscribe to the blog, say we've also added you to the blog and all of that. And that's basically how you should approach business cards in general, and your strategy from top to bottom on how to hand them out, how to receive them, how to follow up within 3 days or never, how to import them using an app or by hand, how to get people onto your blog list that you've met in person, and how to follow up with them that'll save you the most time. I hope that helped. If you guys learned anything at all, please hit the subscribe button down below and feel free to comment or share this with friends. I'm always looking for your feedback. Thanks so much. This is Derek Haney. I'll see you guys next time on SplashU Small Business Tips.